and Cynthia Ramos for their incredible patience with me as I turned in all of our stuff last minute. So, without any further ado, here's our first presentation from Camille Moore and Deasia O'Neill. They are a little nervous, but I will tell them this is also my first time in front of the commission, and it is not that bad. So this is your clicker. You can go ahead and do your introduction.
Good morning.
Well,
I'm Deasia O'Neill. I go to Gainesville High School.
Good morning. My name is Camille Moore, and I go to Eastside High School.
Go Rams.
So on this slide, we went to Devil's Mill Hopper. They have one of the largest sinkholes in the state of Florida. There's also different types of sinkholes. One of them is called dissolution. Sinkholes is caused by an erosion. It may look small from far away, but it's actually bigger than you think it is.
This is another building that we went to, and what they do here is they fix computers for people, and if you need it, they also can download and reset things on your computer as well. And IT stands.
This is code enforcement. We went to the special magistrate, and it was interesting. It had a lot of information about the houses and what needs to be fixed and when it needs to be fixed. Thank you. I would like to thank everyone that allowed us to come and present what we learned throughout working with Teamwork. And
I would like to thank y'all as well.
Thank you.
We have two more interns that have a presentation also.
Great.
Good morning, Mayor, Ward, and Commissioners. My name is Dan Zhu, Chief Climate Officer. I was fortunate enough to have two incredible interns this summer. They are Caleb Hall and Terrence Baker. I appreciate everyone involved in helping them gaining valuable experience this summer. So they learn three aspects. First of all, they learn what is city's climate action initiatives. So we explored the city's greenhouse gas emission inventory together, and also the analysis, the countywide vulnerability assessment. Secondly, they gain a tremendous experience by the first-hand site visit to the GRU Cali plant and also the UF sustainability tour, which further enhancing their passion for sustainability and LEED certification. Last but not least, they explored the organizational structure by collaborating with multiple departments and drafted a mission statement that I would like to share. Overhead, please. The City of Gainesville proudly promotes a safe, healthy, and livable community. We are dedicated to excellent services and engaging with public participation. The city mission is to promote economic growth, sustainability, and inclusivity. Without further ado, I'd like to hand over the podium to them as they would like to share what they learned during the summer. And thank you all for the support throughout this enriching experience.
Very good. Welcome.
So good morning, Mayor Ward and the commissioners. My name is Caleb Hall, and my name is Terrence Baker, and this is our presentation, key details around Gainesville.
So where do y'all go to high school?
I go to high school at PK Young.
PK.
I go to Santa Fe High School.
Santa Fe. All right.
So first, I'm gonna give a special thanks to Rod Clark, Robin Rentz, Dan Zhu, Miss Elizabeth, Mr. Eric from GRU, and Jimmy Ford. First of all, So first is greenhouse gases. So greenhouse gas is a gas of radiant energy that comes from thermal energy that causes the greenhouse effect. The primary sources are water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. So without any greenhouse gases, Earth would be an icy wasteland. But also greenhouse gases keep our planet livable by holding onto some of Earth's heat energy. So I created this logo on Canva, basically, and so it represents a toxic mass, as you can see, because the toxic mass keeps you from like chemicals getting to your body and bad things happening to you. So that was just one of my logo ideas. So climate change. So since the 1800s, human activities have been the main reason for this climate change. Oil, gas, or even coal are big parts of the climate change. So climate change can also be caused by the buildup of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. Climate change has caused the ocean to get warmer. So I created this logo because if you've been looking at the recent weather lately, it's been hot. And so I did research, and the research has shown that in the last 3 days, the Earth has been its hottest in the last 3 days. So that's why I kind of created the logo, and that's kind of what the pepper is for, to show that it's like kind of hot. Yeah. Okay, so net zero. So throughout my time here, I've been learning about net zero. So net zero is a target of completely negating the amount of greenhouse gases produced by human activities. So the plan for net zero is to have it done by 2045. And also net zero refers to the balance between the amount of greenhouse gases that's produced. Also greenhouse gas is the amount that's removed from the atmosphere. So I kind of represent this logo because net zero is a worldwide thing. And kind of, if you put your mind to it, net zero, it can be done by 2045, but if not, then it's gonna take a longer time. So I think if you just do your part, and it'll be done by 2045. Okay, so how to improve the environment? So just do the things that we do in our average day, like reduce some of the things we do in our average day. Some things we do is burn fossil fuel and reduce emission. So if you do the little things and work up your way to the big things, it'll help the earth. So like picking up trash or just recycling, you start with small things and work up to the big things, then the earth will get better. Also, that's how you can kind of improve the environment. And that's just my thing. So one of my topics that I did was personal to me was like how to improve like a football field, in my opinion. So one way is to fix like upgrading indoor fields to have like for rainy games that would get canceled or delayed. But also another one is like spray the field down before mosquitoes. So y'all know I go to school like PK Young, and mosquitoes, they're pretty bad. So I think that before y'all like go to a game, I think they should spray the field down because nobody wants to get beat up by like mosquitoes while they trying to watch a football game, in my opinion. So I think that's just one of my topics. And so parks and recreation. So my time with parks and recreation has taught me a lot of things that they do. They do a lot of things for the kids in the community with an affordable price. They do a lot of things like flag football, Pop Warner football, cheerleading, heat wave, and team midnight basketball, as y'all see. I use on my logo. So with these programs, they are affordable for only partners, not only bringing the community together, but Mr. Rod Clark is also raising money to support all these events he has set. Lastly, with all these events come with planning and having to find people to coach the teams, but also have a way to picking the right people. So Mr. Rod Clark has taught me that he does a background check on these people because he doesn't want like these wrong people teaching these kids the wrong things. So you got to do a background check on certain people before you let them teach your kids and stuff like that. I think everybody knows that. And then yes.
Good morning, Mayor Ward and also other fellow commissioners. So this is my portion of the presentation. So Gainesville Regional Utilities. So GRU is a multi-service utility owned by the city of Gainesville. GRU is the 5th largest electrical facility in Florida. It was first established in 1887 and has been open for 100 plus years. And with working here, it has a lot of responsibilities, and any wrong move can basically shut the whole city down, meaning that all the electricity would just power off. So helping prevent wildfires. So I think some ways we can help prevent wildfires are by analyzing trees to prevent them from occurring, because if we check their solidity or to see if they're moist enough, then we can help potentially prevent more dryness in them. Another way is by basically wetting the soil more, making it moist, and also fertilizing plants, because that keeps the environment wet. And when you're trying to start a campfire, you have to make sure that your campfire is in an open location, away from any flammable hazards or materials. Another tip would be don't leave a fire unattended, because if wind picks up that fire, then it's going to spread out of control dangerously. And before you go anywhere, make sure you check your weather and drought conditions. So I made that poster or the image as a demonstration of like what we can do to handle wildfires. All right, flood prevention. So one way to prevent flooding is by flood control infrastructure such as levees, dams, seawalls, and tide gates. When looking for flooding, we have to make sure that we check valves in the sewers to prevent water backups from happening. And so these 4 images that I made show like the negative scenarios and the scenarios that we need to focus on. So the 2 at the top show excessive amounts of rain going down a hill, and that rain is going into the city and flooding the city. So those are the worst case scenarios that can usually happen. And the one at the bottom are the best situations that we should do. So the one on the left shows a dam that's blocking like a large amount of water that potentially could cause like damage to a city. So we should install more dams around Gainesville, like to prevent this excess amount of water from flooding like certain parts that are most vulnerable to it. And another situation that I mostly prefer is that we should build towns around Florida on like hills that have high elevation. That way, not only will the hills be able to block the excess amounts of water from coming in, but like if we have drainage things that can carry and absorb this water and put it into like a lake, then we can disperse that to an area where it won't affect anyone. So my motto that I said was do your part to help prevent flooding from getting worse, because that's what I think a lot of people should focus on. Climate action public awareness. So the current global warming rate is occurring roughly 10 times faster than the average rate of warming after an ice age. So I think more people need to be engaged in climate action, and one way we can do that is by planting the same amount of trees around everywhere, that's equivalent to the same amount of CO2 that's being emitted into the atmosphere. So if we can get like more government organizations to try to focus on that, then I think that'll benefit a lot of people, like especially the community of Gainesville itself. So I also made that other logo on the right. So join the movement, stop polluting, save our environment, to help promote more climate change awareness and climate change action. And thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, DJ. That's my son. That's my boy. Yeah.
All right, staff want to wrap up, or do we have? Okay. All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here and for engaging with the city over these last few weeks. Always glad to bring young people into our organization and show you some interesting career paths too, I think, hopefully. All right. No lights? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you I'm going to start with the youth, because I think all of my colleagues who know me understand just how important young people are to me, but also to this community. I then want to graduate to staff and say thank you. Certainly thank you to the individuals that contribute to making this program possible. I'm coming back to the young folks. I am so inspired by what I see here today. I am so incredibly thankful that you wanted to come here and work at the city. I hope that somehow we have inspired something in you, that maybe this will evolve beyond an internship, and perhaps we'll see some applications in the future from you coming to contribute these amazing gifts. I saw so much wonderful information and presentation in what you all shared with us today. I am so excited. I also had another idea while we were sitting here, because what you've done here today is actually, it contributes to a greater good as well. I'm going to take this in a slightly different direction, and I think you already know where I'm going. We know that we have public safety issues here, where we are beginning now to shift to making our community a much more safe place, but also making our youth, creating spaces where you are much safer. But I've always believed that part of that is putting you in those leadership positions. And so I am going to say something to my colleagues today and the city manager. We have a gun violence prevention summit that is coming up. and there is a space at that Gun Violence Prevention Summit for a youth town hall. And it is my hope to see you all there. And the reason that I'd like to see you there is not just to create a space to keep you safe, but to hear your voices. One of the things that I have heard from individuals in your age groups is you need places to go, you need things to do, you need mentors, and you need jobs. And so it looks like we've started chipping away at the jobs piece, but we certainly want to hear more from you. I certainly hope that you'll not just be present, but that if staff can, and if you will, that you will make space for these individuals, these young people, to be a part of the summit in a very meaningful way, particularly at the youth town hall, because I'm particularly interested in hearing more from you. I thank you so much. I'm so inspired. Those logos were amazing. Excuse me. Those logos were outstanding. What you all presented and what you learned. I'm really inspired by you today, and I thank you. I certainly hope that you'll come back. Thank you so much. I can
Thank you, Chris. So I'm going to remind everybody, it's not that we don't appreciate everything and we want to hear good comments, but we try not to do a lot of applause because the flip side of applause is when people get emotional in the other direction. So we try not to do that. Absolutely, you can always clap for y'all coming in and coming from the community into the city organization. We love having you here, and you're always going to hear our appreciation for that. But let's not get into the always applauding, because then there's the potential for the other end of that spectrum. So that's why we have that rule existing. So thank you.
Mr. Mayor, just quickly, if I might, Mr. Wayne Fields is here. He is the gentleman that we coordinated this team work program through.
Excellent.
And I wanted to acknowledge him, of course. Ms. Marsha Kiner, of course, with the Children's Trust. They funded this. But I also wanted to highlight the fact that when Yvette talked a little bit about our historical participation over the last 2 years, I believe the city probably has the highest participation of youth in this program. And so I wanted to highlight that as well.
Very good. Welcome, Mr. Fields.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you all giving us the opportunity. And when I say us, I mean the Children's Trust of Alachua County, Goodwill Industries of North Florida, and MB Listings. These youth and what you have seen today is remarkable. The mentoring and the work sites that the city has provided as well is remarkable. We have scheduled an awards banquet and dinner on August 6th at Eastside High School. And since we have the executive director of the Children's Trust, I haven't had an opportunity to talk with you about this, but we would like to try and start our event, which was scheduled originally from 3 to 6. We'd like to move it up to 2 o'clock and then encourage all those in attendance to attend the Eliminate Gun Violence, because those were two of the issues that the Children's Trust wanted to have addressed: gun violence and jobs. And I think it goes hand in hand with what the city is doing. We've gotten the word. So we'll start our event at 2, and we invite all employers, city commissioners, and please, if you will, come. LaShundra has done a fantastic job, the city manager, and so please, if you will, make sure that she's there too.
You, without the community, without your support. So thank you, department leads, for everything that you have done, and certainly thank you, young folks. You are inspiring, you make us proud, and you are truly a blessing to your community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Arid, extra dry. Tell them my age. I don't even think they sell that anymore. We can get it in. It's gonna be. We got it. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3.